Hello YouTube Shroomies. It is the first cross-server arena and it is open. I'm sorry I made this video a little bit late for all the people who watch on 1833, but for all future viewers, I hope this guide helps you with your very first cross-server arena, because here is where you're going to be able to get some really nice Immortal skills. 100 slash definitely is really good for all classes, maybe with the exception of PAL class. Windborne Arrow, as much as they buffed it, is still not that optimal for Archer class. I would say, perhaps just get, if for the overall effect once you kind of bought all the other things you want to buy in this shop. Crimson Moonfall is really good early on for mages, but it falls off very quickly once your bats are well over level 100. And finally, Ancestral Will is the one you want for PAL class. You need to buy the base skill first, and then you can upgrade it later by buying shards. It is very possible for you to get 2,000 points on the very first server showdown. However, you are seeing probably, for example, for myself, if you actually finished all of your tasks here, you're going to be at 600 points. Actually, you only get 500 over here. What you need to do every single day is go into your own server and just go kill any monsters. Your first 10 kill every single day. So there's 2 days. It's already a little bit. It's a little bit late to show this, but sorry, it's a little bit tricky playing on an emulator here. But there's 2 parts. Once you start logging in, you can collect both tokens as well as coins every minute, and it maxes out at 8 hour for AFK rewards. Once you defeat one monster, you actually get 5 crystals and 500 coins. I don't get any more simply because it is already 10 kills for me on my own server. Now, if there's anybody attacking your server, you can actually see the bounty over here. Whenever you kill a target, you get 10 crystal and you get 1,000 points. I can't remember if there's a cap on it. If there's a cap, it's probably at 10. But normally we don't get a chance to, farm people that come attacking us. Usually they run away. But if you do get an opportunity to farm them, definitely it's a good way of earning some crystals early on. Now, this is the part where people forget about, and this is why it's possible to actually rush for that first pink skill, because you're like, well, I'm still short by quite a bit. If you actually look over here in your achievements, you can get... I already completed my first one. So at 5,000, you can get 200 for this. There is the second achievement, another 200 at 10,000. There's one more achievement at 150k, another one at 200k. So when you finish all 4 achievements, you will be able to actually just straight up buy it without even worrying about your ranking. So if you check your ranking here, end of the day, your personal ranking, you're going to get some as settlement, which is in, I guess, 2 more hours here. But you get some for defense, you get some for slaying the most monsters, and of course, if your server wins, you get 100 over here. But you don't have to rely on any of that. So for example, Payphone here, he's already actually got his Immortal skill, and the reason why is because, he farmed a ton. He got his 200k achievement in points already. So he's able to get, I think 13... can't remember, it was 13,000 or 14,000 for all of your achievements, but I'm pretty sure it's 13,000. But he's able to then purchase his Immortal skill already on the second day of cross server. So basically, any player, if you want to go for this, just basically spend 20,000 gems and go for the extra attempts into the enemy server. A couple of things to note, right? If you're struggling, definitely choose the Exorcist class, because you want to be killing those monsters as quickly as possible. Now, I picked PvP just because not only can I kill the monsters fast enough, I also want to make sure when people come bother me, I can actually handle them. You probably don't want to try to spend a whole bunch of gems, because if you can't even get 20,000 per run, it's going to be super costly for you to try to farm to 200,000 points. And it's going to spend a lot of gems, especially as a free-to-play player. You can see I've well, this wasn't planned, but I was super busy today and I didn't find a time this entire weekend to actually sit down here and do 10 runs. Yes, it's very grindy to try to get it in the first day. It is possible, right? Like the first showdown, but and it's going to give you a huge advantage with a extra immortal skill throughout the second week. But you can technically wait another few days, right? I can wait until the next week, and I will be able to exchange. So here I'll get 500 more once it settles. And of course, getting extra point allow you to buy out these things, right? So here definitely buying out extra 2,000 lamps would be really nice. You know, buying out some food for your avian will be really nice. I'm actually going to go for another run right now while we go over and record this video, and I explain a couple of things when I come back. Like every single run allows you to get showdown points. Eventually, we're going to be strong enough to start, you know, taking out the towers. Whoops. And those give 50,000 points each. So you can see, we'll show you the statue shortly as well. And when we go there, once we go into the other side of the video, I'll explain a little bit more on the task. But I do want to make sure, like mechanic-wise, you know, we kind of explain it through. If you are in a situation where you worry about getting chased down a lot, you can in theory pick Gorilla, which will help you run away from enemies and allow you to teleport in between. So you can always pick this one if you are struggling a little bit. And this is probably the most efficient if you want to just farm a lot of monsters. So if you plan to just farm for first place in monster kill, I'll actually recommend doing this. This is the one you pick if you want to start hitting statues, and of course Berserker is the one, you know, if you want to make sure you can have a little bit of advantage in PvP. Ranking wise, you can see, you know, I am second place, and the strategy for this was I got to 20,000 on monsters, killed a couple enemies, then ran and at the last second hit the statue as hard as I can to get some extra points. So that's kind of how I went above the 20,000 there and secure second place. Defense, you just have to be on the weekend a lot. Wherever you see the alert coming through, attack, and you should be able to get a decent number of kills. And then monster slaying, this is where, you know, you're just going a lot. So, you know, there's probably enough time for me to do 2 more runs. So let's get started with this run. And I'll kind of explain a couple things to watch for when you are out there. So let's do it. Let's go to battle. And you can see here, like this first attempt of the day is free. So that's why you do one on each day, so you don't have to spend any more diamonds. I'm doing this just for the video. Like I am not, this is not optimal for free to play in my mind, because I rather spend the gems on maybe buying some extra skills so I can get to the blitz faster, because early on it's going to be a little bit tricky. So here, just set yourself to attacking monsters only, and then just in case you don't want to kill players by accident, so set yourself to monster only, put yourself on auto, start walking around. The monsters actually spawn in a very regular grid pattern, so, and there's a cooldown in between. You can see challenges locked on cooldown, so you can't just, you know, go into a pile of monsters and keep clicking on monsters. Now these little, you want to be making sure you go to Shroom City. This is where the monsters have the highest points. As you level up, or as the servers get older, the monsters do not increase in HP. I used to play a game called Immortal, and there's a very similar, you know, feature in the game that's kind of like this. All the monsters and mobs increase in HP as the server gets older. It is not in this game. So very soon, like by the second time you have this event, you're going to find yourself one-shotting all the monsters. You have the highest amount of points in Shroom City. These little crowns indicate where the monster is. So if you have trouble finding monsters, the crown means there's a guaranteed boss monster. So this is the boss monster for this particular location. And you can all of a sudden see the arrangement of little red dots, right? Red dots means it's kind of a PvE mob. A little red mushroom means it's an enemy. These little cats are worth 275 points each. The little alien on a spaceship is worth 300, and the giant big monster boss that looks like a weird cat-looking centaur, that's worth 325 points. So here, this little alien guy here, that's worth 300 points. You notice that all of these monsters actually increase in HP drastically. So, you know, but point difference is very little between them. So early on, you might find yourself more efficiently just farming cats. And you can see the monsters actually spawn in this kind of grip pattern when they die. So that's why once you spot a spot on the map where they're kind of nicely clustered together, you don't have to teleport around a lot. Now, as you're going through your first your first 10 minutes, if you do see enemies like this one, you should attack them and get a very quick kill for them. What you will notice is there are circle sizes. See, my circle here is much bigger than the mushroom over there, so that means I know my power is way greater than the enemy. If I see a giant red circle on the enemy player, I probably should run and not attack them, because they're likely to be much stronger than I am, and I will be unfortunately dying. Now, dying in this cross server showdown event is not that bad. You can revive on the spot for free after 10 seconds, and then I think after a few number of kills, the respawn timer increases. You also have the option of spending 300 gems. This cost does not increase due to increasing use, but you can teleport away as well using 300 gems and respawn anywhere on any of the maps. And this is where you can have the opportunity of clicking on the map button and making sure you go teleport to another city or area, just so that it's harder for the enemy to trace you down. You are automatically showing up on the bounty on the top of the screen over here for the enemy server, and the entire server will be notified once you have more than a 3-player kill streak. And that's usually when you can expect people to start coming to chase after you. So that's why I said, here on the guide is you want to focus on attacking monsters, but along the way you can kill 2 players. This is important because you don't want to wait until the last minute and then trying to go hunt 3 players down, because they might be spread out across the map, especially before server merges. It's really difficult for you to find players sometimes. Another thing I think it's important to know is, now if you're really, really strong, which applies to a small group of you who are watching, but if you're really, really strong, you don't worry about any enemies that could potentially take you down. What you want to do is alternate between enemy kills and monster kills. This is a little detail if you want to farm efficiently, is that whenever you kill a player, this cooldown in between, like I think it's like a 5-second cooldown in between attacking monsters. Like for example here, if I kill one, you probably saw earlier, like you can't kill monsters consecutively, right? It's just like right now, like it's going to say challenges on cooldown. But if you kill a player in between, you could it resets the cooldown for attacking monsters. So later on, especially, so after server merges, monsters and players are going to be very evenly spread out. So you're going to be able to attack one monster and attack one player, and then that allow you to farm really efficiently, especially if you're a really strong player. So here, I'm still only 6 minutes in, and I'm already at 9,000 points. So you can see I'm farming relatively efficiently. There's total 13 minutes. I'm on pace to getting 20,000 points. If you farm like this, you should have no problem getting close to 20,000 points with maybe, it says target in battle. So sometimes it glitches, like if you kill the enemy, it might still be there. So I've been keeping track of my my player count kills. I believe I've only killed 1 player so far. So right now there is a weak player in my path, and obviously I'm going to quickly take him out. And I will be able to now grab a quick instant kill. So you can see my extension still not happened yet, so that I know that's my second kill now. So if I kill 1 more player, I am definitely going to be alerting the whole server, but I'll get 3 extra minutes on my remaining timer. So hopefully this guide has been really, really helpful for you. What you want to do is, take your pick, right? You can either go for achievements or spread out getting your Immortal skill over a span of 2 weeks. Like I mentioned earlier, those are the best skills. 100 Slash is probably the most useful. It can increase your attack up to 40% FOHP, which is a huge damage boost, great for archer class. You can even use it on mages when you try to do a pre-blitz nuke build for PvP. And you know, you can absolutely get Crescent Moonfall if you're a mage if you want. Just caution that once your bats hit over level 100, at that point it's pretty you pretty much want to switch over and use bats instead for damage, because a high level bat actually does a lot more damage over the span of the 5 or 6 ticks you can get out of them. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video and you found all the details in here really helpful for you to progress in your account and be able to get your Immortal skill very early, because getting that Immortal skill in the first week ahead of everybody else is going to give you a huge advantage in PvP and PvE over the course of the week, because if they don't follow this and rush the achievements, they are definitely not going to be able to get it in the first week. All right, hope you enjoy the video and all the tips involved. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. And of course, please like and subscribe so that you can catch the next video in this episode series. And in general, my videos are really much aimed to helping players make the most out of their account and investments. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Gandolf out.